Do you need help learning how to use your WordPress website? I'm Barbara Carr with Fuse Marketing and Media. And today in this video, I am going to walk you through step by step how to log in to your WordPress dashboard, where to find your password if you are a client of Fuse, how to edit an existing page that is already there, how to create a new page, how to delete a page, how to create a new blog post, how to edit that blog post, including changing the look of the text and the images and even putting links into your texts. I will also show you how to add plugins and widgets, how to delete them, and also how to activate or deactivate them. And then I'll also show you how to change themes and what that might look like for your site. If you have any other questions outside of what's shared in this video, feel free to let me know and I'd be happy to make another video. But this is specifically a 101 to WordPress. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. As that comes up, I'm going to go to the Fuse Marketing and Media website. So that's the one I'll use as an example here. So if I type in, as you can see at the top there, fusemarketingandmedia.com, and I go to the website, you'll see that the website is here, right? And so the next thing I want to show you is the URL that you will use to log in to your site. So at the end of the .com, up in the URL here, we're going to add some characters. We're going to first put this /, and then we're going to type in WP, which stands for WordPress, a dash, and then the word admin. So WP-admin there at the end, and then we can go to that URL. Once we are there on our login area, you'll need to insert your username and your password. You can click Remember Me if this is a computer that you're going to be using regularly as your private computer, not something that you share with other people or something that has potential to be in danger of somebody being able to get into your site. So you'll need to have your username and password. Now, for clients of Fuse, you will find that information inside of an email that has been sent to you, and you will have your username and your password along with the link to log in directly to your website. So once you have that in here, then you'll go ahead and click Login down in the bottom right. And if you give it just a moment, it will load your dashboard. Your dashboard is kind of, think of it as your back office. This is where you can where you can navigate to the different things you want to do. We'll walk through a little bit of this, but we're not going to go too deep into this. But as you can see, there's sometimes announcements up at the top of your dashboard there. And then there are some easy getting started things. These should be left on there for you. If you have a newer website, these are probably still there to where you can click on some of these and make changes. Now keep in mind that as you make changes to your site, and the changes are permanent once you've saved them, it is very important for you to do a backup of your site before making changes. Okay, so if you need help doing a backup, you can contact Fuse. We do offer a package, a program where we actually back your site up every month, just in case you accidentally mess something up, or you're not sure, maybe somebody else got in there. But just if we built your site for you, it's not included for us to back it up every month, but we do have an option for us to back up your site every month for you. You could use a lot of different backup plugins, but make sure that you back up your site before you make any changes. As you start to make changes, you'll see them automatically. So if one of the things you can do, I like to go to the visit site here. If you hover over your company name, your website name at the top, visit site will pop up. I like to hold down Control when I click on visit site, because then it opens it in a new tab so that I can see what the site looks like as I'm making changes. If you're on a Mac, you'd hold down Command and then click it to open it. So let's jump into some of the most common things that you might change. This video is typically for people who had a website built for them on WordPress. They didn't do it themselves. Somebody else did it for them. Or maybe they attempted to do it themselves and then they got lost on how to do any of these things. So again, this is just a basic 101. So one of the first things I want to start with is how to start a new page and editing pages and deleting pages. So we'll start with pages, but before I jump into walking through the how-tos of pages, I want to explain the difference between a page and a post. So a page is on your website. As you can see, all of these things up at the top here, all these tabs, these are all separate pages here. A post is a blog post. So if I go here to our blog, these are articles that I've written or that my team has written that go here on the blog page. So they all go here in the same spot and they're organized from newest to oldest. So this one on May 13th shows up here before this one that was written on May 6th shows up. And as you keep going, then there's April 29th is the next one, and then April 22nd, and then April 15th. So as you continue going down, these are staggered in a way that they're organized with the newest blogs first. Now, it really is helpful to have blogs posted on your site pretty regularly because it helps you get found in the search engines better. And there's a whole lot of reasons behind that. I can't really go into them in this video, but just know that blogging should be a regular part of your marketing plan. And if you're not blogging yourself, keep in mind that Fuse does offer blogging as a service as well. In fact, if you're interested, you could go up to in the marketing area and then go to content marketing, and then blogging options are right there. In fact, all of our services you can find right here on our website. We've made it very easy for you. In fact, we've set it up to make it as easy as possible for our viewers. For instance, if you come to the $450 starter website, which may have been what you bought and why you're watching this video, because the training videos were included in your $450 starter website. And so if you come here, it explains what the starter website is, and then it goes step one, explains what your first step is, which is obviously making your deposit. It has an option for you to pay now. So if you love the website that we've built for you, or even if it wasn't us that built it and you're looking for help, or somebody you know is looking for help, you can come right on here and get most of this process started at any time of the day or night, even on weekends. And then as you go through, then it goes to the contract. If you click there, it will take you to the contract to sign. All of this stuff allows you to do it without ever even having to talk to us first. And you can schedule your appointment. This is a strategy session where you actually get to talk to our marketing director, and which at this time is me, Barbara. So you'll get me right now. In the future, it may not be me, but it will be our marketing director. And on this call, you're able to ask questions about how the process works, how the contract works, anything that you don't understand with the contract, how soon your website will be done. You will be able to talk about all the things that we can include on your website here. And then step 5 is to just sit back and let us do the work. Most of these sites we're getting done in about a week. Some of them have taken about 2 weeks because of content that we're waiting on, but on average, we're getting most of these sites pushed out in about a week. And if you want examples of some of the sites we've done, just send us an email and ask. The email address is right here. And then step 6 is to pay your balance. We give you 60 days to pay your balance. So $200 is due at the beginning. That other $250 you can pay within 60 days. If you need longer than that, just let us know. We're happy to work with people during this time. We definitely want to make sure that businesses are succeeding, and whatever part we could play in that, we're happy to do so. And then down at the bottom, if you're watching this video because we built your website, I would like to direct you back to this page, because at the bottom, step 7 is asking for you to leave us a review. Let us know what you loved about the site that we completed for you. And did it match your branding? Did it make you feel like is it better than what you could have told us to do? Is it already bringing you customers? Did it allow for you to do something that you didn't expect? Are people complimenting on it? Tell us all the good things that we've done for you for your website. Tell the world by either reviewing us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, or even right here on our website. So a lot of the things that we have here on the website that you guys will see, all of these are super simple, free options that you can do as well. We can't go over every one of them in this training video, but if you have questions about some of them, reach out to us and we can make more videos. All right, so let's jump back into, now that we've seen this is the difference between pages and posts. Let's go back to our dashboard here and create a new page. Now there's a few options here about how to create a new page. We can do it from the pages area or from the top up here. So up here, if you click new, you could create a new page. As you can see, there's a new post there too. But that's not the way I'm going to walk you through this time, specifically because I want to show you the other way too. So if here on the left where all of the tabs are, if you click on the word pages, it will take you to a list of all of the current pages that you have. Okay, so these are all of the different pages. Some of my pages, as you see, I purposely keep the title blank. I can explain that again in another video, why we would do something like that. But these are purposeful. And as you can see, these are ordered alphabetically. So maybe you think to yourself, I'm not sure if I've already created a page for my custom branded memes yet. Well, then I can look and see, oh, yep, I sure have. Well, if you're like us and you have lots of pages, like see here we have 3 pages, 50 total pages, or we have 3 pages of pages. And that's like a tongue twister, right? But we have 50 total pages on our website, and our website is still growing every day. So 50 total pages. We may not want to search through these. So I could type in, let's type in my business partner's name because I know he has an about page. So if I start typing in Marcelino and I hit search pages, that wouldn't have showed up on the first page because it's probably on the second or third page because it's an M. So here it shows me, here's his page. I can edit this page. I could view the page. We're not really going to go through a quick edit in here, but trash is obviously easy to understand. If you trash the page, it goes into your trash. Now, most websites have it set up to where it will stay in your trash for a certain number of days, but don't count on that being the case just in case. I always tell people, if you plan to delete something, plan on it being permanent because you don't actually know if you'll have access to that even a few seconds after you've deleted it. So if you want to trash it, you do that. It will take it to the trash can and it will be off of your pages area here. It will also be off of your website. It will also take it off of your menu. So all of that stuff will delete if you put one of these pages to trash. So the first one I want to do is I want to change, let's edit this page. Actually I want to edit yeah, we can edit this page. So Marcelino is our CFO. And if we come in here and we want to, you'll get pop-ups that will talk to you about how to do things. You're more than welcome to go through them if you want. I obviously X out of them. But let's say we want to add something in here for Marcelino. So Marcelino has been working in the professional scene for about 15 years. Maybe we want to change the word 15 to the number 15. So all we have to do is click right inside here, highlight it, and then just on our keyboard, change the number that we want. Now, you'll notice that this does not save automatically. If you want to save something, you have to actually come up here to the top right where the update button is and click update. If you don't, it will not save. That is the biggest thing that I see for people when they're trying to edit WordPress, is that they make a change and then they say, and then it didn't work. And I say, did you hit the update button? And they said, there wasn't an update button. And I say, yes, there was. It's up in the top right. Go look again. Sometimes they have their screen where it is not full, where it's like only a half of screen or something. And for some reason that gets hidden. Maybe they hide the toolbar, the top toolbar here. I'm not sure how they miss it because I've never been able to miss it, but I know there are some people who are not tech savvy and they miss that option. So make sure that you're always hitting the update button. Okay, as you can see, a lot of these things here I'm going to walk you through these when we post the blog, because I'm actually going to post a blog as we are on the video. Well, I'm going to, from scratch, I'm going to post this blog. And so all of these are going to be the same things as in here as they are in the blog. So I'm not going to touch on them in this part of the video. After you have made your changes and you've updated them, you can X out of that, or you could just click on the W up in the top left, which will take you back to your pages page. Okay. So now that you're on here, let's say you want to add a new page. Let's say that somebody created your website for you, whether that was us or somebody else, and you decide that you want a new page for something new that you're offering. You can click up here at the very top where it says add new, because we're right here where it says pages. So add new would make it an add new page, or we can hover over this and go to page. Either one goes to the same spot. So I'm going to click on add new. When it comes up, you'll notice there's a spot for a title, for some writing. There's some stuff over here in the right-hand side, which will go over some of them, but not all of them. So the title, I'm just going to put test here because I'm not actually creating a new page on the website as we speak. And so if I create the test title, this is the title here. If I come over to the side here, I have different options of what to do with this. The top part here is what I want to do with this page. Typically, if you're creating a page and you're finishing it when you create it, you're going to publish it immediately. But if it's something that you're like, you know what, I'm going to put stuff in here and I'm going to add a little bit more to it later, but I'm not ready for the world to see it until I'm all the way done, then you could change immediate, or you could change public and make it to private to where only you can see it. And then the publish immediately, you could also schedule. So if you're like, if this were, I never schedule pages to go out. It makes sense to schedule blogs, but not really pages. So I don't recommend making scheduled pages. If you made it the way you want it, make it go out immediately. Then you could also set it for pending review. If for some reason you're actually editing somebody else's site, maybe somebody's hired you as a freelancer to edit their site, you can set it up to be pending review so that they can review it before it goes public to the world. You know, if maybe they need to make sure everything's accurate or looks good to them or whatever the case might be. Your featured image is the image that will show up in a couple places. It will show up if when people Google, if this is the page that shows up, that image might show up. If you post a link to this page specifically, like on Facebook or something, this is the image that will show up. So a lot of these different, a lot of places that you put your link, or that people search you, this image will show up for this page. So for instance, when I created my social media page, the featured image I used there was a phone screen that had different social media icons on it. It matched what the page name was, which will help it rank better in the search engines as well. And then if we go down here, this is just, do you want to allow comments or not? I don't generally allow comments on pages because it doesn't make your site look very professional. I allow them on blogs, but not on pages. But it is up to you, of course. And then your page attributes, you can have the default template, which I recommend, and then you could have this be a parent page to another page if you want. That's a whole nother thing. We're not going to go into that in this video. I don't recommend changing these. And then this is something that I've added to my own site. And in fact, most of you, if I've built a site for you, this is probably on your site as well. And what that allows us to do is hide the title on the page. The hide title option is just a plugin, which we'll get into that in a moment. It is literally called hide title. And later in this video, I'll show you how to add plugins. So here you could type stuff, whatever you decide you want to type for your page. One important thing you need to keep in mind with pages is when you first create them, well, pages and blogs actually, when you first create them, there's not an update button here, it's a publish button. But you have to actually hit publish twice. So when you hit it the first time, it basically asks like, are you sure? And then there's a second publish button there that looks exactly the same. So you have to hit it twice the very first time that you create a page or a blog. Don't get confused by that. Make sure that you're hitting it twice. Once it's already created, you only have to hit the update button one time. I hope that's not confusing, but I wanted to make sure that people understood that so that they didn't lose everything that they created. If you accidentally X out of your page, you will lose what you created. It does not do auto saves or anything like that, at least not yet. It may in the future, but it doesn't yet. Because I don't want to create this as a new page, I'm just going to go here to the W, and it asks me, am I sure I want to leave because these changes will not be saved? I do want to leave because I don't want to create a test page anywhere on my website. It doesn't make sense. All right. So now you guys have learned about pages, how to create a new page, how to delete a page you don't want, and how to edit an existing page. The next thing we're going to go into is blogs. So how to put a new blog post, how to edit blog posts, and how to delete blog posts, should you ever want to. So again, you could hover over new here and go to post, but I'm going to show you a different way because I want to show you the blog page. Here where it says posts, if I click on that, it will take me to my list of all of the blogs that I have posted here. And what I want to do is, again, I could hit trash to go here. If I want to delete a bunch of them, like all of them, maybe I'm starting from scratch or something, I could click on the checkbox here and it will check all of them. And I could go to bulk actions and I could say move to trash. I don't want to do that. I don't want to move all my blogs to trash. But I could also edit one of these, right? So if I click on it, edit, it will allow me to edit a page or a blog that has already been created, just like we did with the page, we're doing with the blog. So, and again, I'm going to show you in a moment how to create this blog, but this is my title here. Did I hide the title on this? No, I didn't. Okay. And then this is my words. Here I have a link. This is a heading. Here's a number list. Here's a smaller heading, which, why is that one small? That one should not be smaller, so I'll just make that change now. So what this shows is this is a paragraph. That, like, backwards P means this is a paragraph. Oh, brand story. No, you know what? I do want that one smaller. No, I don't. I don't know why that one wasn't like that. So what I'm doing is I'm going to transform it to a heading. Now, the headings that I use on my site are always H1 because they rank higher in the search engines. There are times when something becomes an H2, but for your main topics, you want those to be H1, especially if they have keywords in them like brand story, right? Connect, customers, help, empower, employees, right? These are some keywords that people might actually be searching for. So having them in the title or the headings is going to be helpful. And same thing with your title. Have keywords in your title. So if I wanted to make a change like I just did, I make the change, and then I go to, oh, this one is one that is scheduled. That's why, look, it's scheduled to go out June 3rd. So the button here for update is not showing up there because it's a scheduled post. So it's the same thing, but it's not the word update, it's schedule. So I'm going to click on schedule, which will just reschedule it for the same date and time I had it for, but with the change of making that a heading. All right, so you'll notice a lot of these are very similar to what the pages look like. See, I have a featured image right here, and you'll notice on my blogs, my featured image shows up here. So if I go to the blog page, that's one of the places a featured image will show up right here. Each of these are my featured image. I didn't have to post those in the content. I made those a featured image. All right, and then if I come back here, right now what it is showing me, it looks like, is all of the schedule, oh no, all the scheduled posts are at the top, and then we go into posts that have already been published. And then it would also show you drafts if there's any drafts, but I never save anything as a draft. I either publish it or I schedule it when I create it. So now I've showed you how to delete a blog and also edit a blog. Let me show you how to make a new blog post. Again, you could hover over here and go to new post, or right here where it shows posts, you could click add new. Remember last time it showed pages, this time it shows posts. So if you click here, Another common mistake people make is they will create a post and they expected it to be a page on their website, and then they can't find the page anywhere. Well, it's because it went on their blog. And vice versa. Sometimes they'll make a page and they'll be like, why is it not on my blog? It showed up on my whole website. And they get very confused. So just know the difference. A page is something that is always readily available there in your menu option. A post is something that is an article that you share that will get pushed down on the blog page as new articles are posted. All right, so we're going to click Add New to create a new blog post. Down here in my Microsoft window, I actually have a blog post here that I'm going to post on here right now. So I've already copied all of that. And I'm just going to paste it here. I believe that's the last thing I copied. So give me a moment to see. Yes, it is. All right. So as I've copied and pasted it, the first thing I want to do is take this first part, that's the title. I highlighted it and then I cut it. So I used Control X. You could also right click on it and click cut. I'm going to paste it here. 3 ways to navigate the detour of COVID-19 and intentionally build a better new normal. So we have blog writers who write blogs for me, and I post them because I like to edit them as I post them. Some of them can post their own and like to post their own, and some of them don't. And some of them are really good writers, but they don't really like to stop and look for all the tedious grammar issues. So I do that for them. And so this is going to be an example. So we're going to take the word 3 and we're going to change it to the number 3 because in the title we want it to be as simple as possible. 3 ways to navigate the detour of COVID-19. Intentionally build a better new normal. And we're going to change this to an ampersand. That's not, that's an ampersand, right? And intentionally build a better new normal. This looks like 2 spaces. Yes, it sure is. So I'm going to take that off. And then I'm going to make the A a lowercase because the word of and to and the are all lowercase. So I want to stay consistent here. Now, as I come up here, the next part is the author. Well, I use an author box. So if I highlight this, I could delete it. Or what I actually should do is, I go here, I could click on these 3 dots and go remove block. In fact, I should have did that with this as well. But what I do is on mine, I use an author box, and that is a plugin. So for my author box, where do we do our authors at? Categories, tags. I think it's in the, where's my page attributes? I'm not sure where I put my author box. I'll find that here in just a moment. But anyway, so if I move on to like this image, on the image that, or on the file that John, my author, sent me, he has a detour road closed image here. Now, I always instruct my people that if they don't know what image to use, put an example there, and then I will find the image that it needs to be. So for instance, I want to make sure the image is high quality, and I want to make sure that it is something that I can legally use without getting in trouble, you know, like a stock image of some sort, whether I have to pay for it or download it for free. The site I like to use is called Pixabay. You're able to use images here free of charge, whether it's personal or commercial. So I'm going to go to detour. I'll type it here in the search. And here are some options of detours. I want to try to find something close to what he put here. So road closed detour. So this one would be a good option to choose. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with, maybe I'll go with this one over here. I like this one because it doesn't actually show somebody's license plate in it. And that was, I'm sure that it probably was blurred out, but I still don't like that. Choose which size you want. Keep in mind, the bigger your images are, the more space it's going to take on your website, which will slow your website down. So when I'm like creating something that's going to be printed like a book cover, I definitely want to use the higher resolution images. But for something like this, the smaller images are going to work just fine. So choose the smaller image, click download, completely free. I'm logged in, so this popped up quickly for me. If you're not logged in, it will ask you to make sure you're not a robot before you download it. And so it saved it for me right down here in my downloads. Also, Pixabay, to have a site login information, it's a free membership. You don't have to pay anything for it. So there's the image I downloaded. Now you'll notice there's a donate option here. Again, because all of these images are offered for free, these are by everyday people like you and me who are taking pictures with their cameras, probably their smartphones, some of them may be real high quality cameras, but they're putting them up here absolutely free for us. So if you feel inclined to do so, and if you are able to do so, I highly recommend you leave donations. You don't have to donate for every single image unless you want to or can. But every once in a while, show some support by donating to these artists who are giving these images completely free. So if I come back over here to my post that I was creating, which was right here, I can put an image in right here. Now, maybe I want to use that as my feature image too. So if I come over here and go to feature image, go to upload, select file, and then I need to go to my downloads. And mine are organized by the newest ones will be on the top. So if I give it a moment, it will become the first image here. And then I'll open that. That will become my featured image for this particular post. And I don't typically like putting posts right at the beginning here, but since that's my featured image, it will go at the beginning here. So I could actually remove this block. And then if I'm right here and I click the delete button, it will bring that next paragraph up to me because that was just a blank paragraph there. Okay, so now what I do is I read through this, right? So I'm gonna just take a moment, bear with me as I try to read through this and make this exactly how I wanna post it. So in December 2019, we all lived in a different world. Leaders and their organizations were moving full speed ahead and automatic on a pretty predictable road. See here how that needs a space? I'm gonna put a space there. Now you guys may have noticed that this thing that pops up when I come here, this is Grammarly. It is a free extension for Google Chrome if you're using Google Chrome, and it basically will show you, see how it's highlighted red underneath it? If I hover over it, it will show me that I need to add a space, and I could just click this and it will add a space for me. I like to read things over, and I use that sometimes as well, but I like it to be there just in case. All right, so that smooth, predictable road became a dark, uncharted, and uncertain detour when a little-known virus became COVID-19. And I want to keep, in all of the previous blog posts about COVID-19, this is how I had it written, so I want to stay consistent. A deadly pandemic. Let's see, authorities required state and national lockdowns to flatten the curve. Today, see how Grammarly didn't pick this up, but Barbara did. Today, your 401k is a 201k. Your kitchen office doubles as a school with the kids. Actually, I could make that a comma and change that this way. And then, and Zoom is now a noun, and maybe some other descriptors as you and your team members, church or family members meet regularly virtually. I want to change this here, meet virtually regularly. And I'll take this out. I see I needed a comma there. I forgot that. Then let's see. So, and with blogs, you guys, you don't need to have like 5 to 8 sentences in your paragraphs like we learned as kids. And so I am thinking that probably this one here, we're going to change into a new paragraph. And you'll notice I also don't indent these paragraphs. That's also not something you have to do in the blogging world. Then there is also anxiety in the face of this threat. You can't touch or see it. This threat. So, comma, you can't touch or see it. In times of crisis or detour, it is an it is natural to want to fight or flee, to get off of the detour fast and back to the road. We knew the normal road. Let's change that. The normal road. Some people will also freeze and do nothing, comma, waiting for the normal road they knew to reappear magically. Might even put that dash in for magically. Leaders know they are now both hands on the wheel through the detour. Leaders can navigate the detour and learn to find or build a better road. Leaders can choose, as Craig Groeschel of the Life Church and the Global Leadership Network says. So here's something I like to do with my quotes. Let me finish this, editing the quote, and then I'll show you. We can do better and create a better new normal. 3 actions will help navigate the detour. So the first thing I want to do is take this to its new paragraph. And now I like to take the quote to the new paragraph, and look what I could do. I could change it from a paragraph to a quote. And then I can add Craig Groeschel. Okay. Now, one of the things I like to do too, where it says Craig Groeschel of the Life Church and Global Leadership Network, I love the Global Leadership Network, and I'm very familiar with it. And so what I'm going to do is click on, it's the summit that he does. I don't actually, is there a network? I should double check that before I assume what to do, but I'm going to go network. Yeah, there is a global. Okay, so the network itself, I'm familiar with the summit, which I love, but since there is a network, like the author quoted here, we're going to take this link, we're going to copy it, and we will come over here, and right here where it says Global Leadership Network, I'm going to highlight that text, and then I'm going to come to this little paperclip thing, which is the link, click on it. Right in here, I'm going to paste that text. And down here, I'm going to click open in new window, which means that if they click on this link, it will not take them off my website. It will open a new window for the Global Leadership Network. So when they close out of that window, they'll end up back on my page. And then I'll click this little arrow to submit it. And then as I move off of it, see how it made it blue and underlined? That shows that it's a link. So now here where it says 3 actions will navigate the tour, this looks like it is, let me look back in the, in here, he says 3 actions will navigate the detour. And so the reason why these popped up is because that image he pulled off of cbn.com, which of course is another reason why we double check these things. I don't know what the copyright laws are for that particular image. Okay, so 3 actions will help navigate the detour. What I'll do here is I'm going to change this paragraph into a heading. And then now that it's a heading, if I click inside here, I have the option, I need to go here to block. This is where I could change the different heading sizes. I'm going to go ahead and make this a heading 1. And then this, actually, I'm going to make this a heading 2. I know it sounds silly, but I'm going to make this one a heading 1 because it uses more of the keywords I want to use. So I'll make this a heading 1. I'm going to put a space between the number and the words. So review your intentional leadership mindset. So I'm going to put capitals here to make this really stand out. And in fact, I don't necessarily need to number this if I don't want to. I don't think I'm going to. I'm going to take the numbers off of here. Even though I did list up here that 3 actions will help, that's okay. I could just list the actions nice and big here. Leadership is an inside-outside process. Your mindset, your beliefs are always seen by those you lead and serve. In a crisis, your mindset is on center stage. Your leadership mindset is crucial as it will direct all your actions and provide a model for the actions of others. You can display and encourage an open mindset to learn, serve, and build a better road moving forward. You can also display and encourage a closed mindset to do nothing. Your mindset determines your choice and the outcome of the trip through the detour. excellent paragraph. So then this one, I want to stay consistent. I need to take out that number 2. I need to change this to a header. I need to make it a heading 1. Implement an intentional plan of social connection while being physically distant. So see how he had most of these already capitalized, but that's why my job is to also make sure that everything that needs to be capital is. And here we go. Consistency, keeping that in mind. Social connection is a basic human need. In times of crisis and uncertainty, people crave connection more than in quieter times. An intentional connection plan is crucial to those you lead. It is also vital to every group that comes in contact with your organization, customers, vendors, the delivery person, and even your competitor. Plan your communication using a concentric circle model pictured below to make sure you connect to all in those circles. Make sure you get to every circle closest to the farthest. You as a leader can communicate persistently, clearly, with care, gratitude, authenticity, and with purpose. Okay, I love that sentence. So what I want to do is I want to make this really stand out from the rest of them. Okay, so what I could do is I could either bold it, I can italicize it, I could bold and italicize it, which I think is what I'll do. I noticed that I missed something up there. Gratitude I see is spelled incorrectly. That fixed that. And then we need a comma there. So see how I didn't want all of this like that. Let me fix that. Okay, perfect. So I wanted this here. And in fact, I probably even will start a whole new paragraph with that because that is fantastic. I think the word with needs to stay. So see, sometimes Grammarly is not exactly correct, mostly because it doesn't know the context always in what else is before and after it. All right, consider an intentional plan beyond the typical Zoom meeting. Don't underestimate the power of thank you, I'm sorry, or a handwritten note or personal call. So we're going to take, we need to do thank you. Or thank you and I am sorry, or a handwritten note or personal call. Show you are present to all you serve and lead. They all want to see you and hear from you. All right, so right here where it talks about the concentric circle model, I'm actually not familiar with that, so I'm about to learn right here with you guys. I know that he shared a picture in here, which is right there. Oh, that looks like in Simon Sinek's Why. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to Google this so I can find a good image of that. I'm going to click on this. Let's see. I can't tell if that is a good one or not. Okay, so it doesn't look like a highly, okay, let's see if somebody has it in here. Oops. Let's go back to here, copy, paste. No, okay, so what I'll do, because it doesn't look like I can find a high quality, let me go up here to more tools. Let's see, size, I want to do large, and then I want to do usage rights. Let's see, for reuse. All right. Well, that links to a video, it looks like. I don't think that's the one I want. Anyway, so yeah, some of these, let's see. I really wanted to get one that actually has the text with it so that people can understand it better. Let's go Simon Sinek Golden Circle, which I know that's very similar to the Simon Sinek Golden Circle. Doesn't look like I'm finding what I want there. Let's see. Let's go to reuse with modification. Let's click off of this one. All right. Concentric circles. All right, I think we're going to go ahead and just use this one. And then we can link to, let's go, oh, this is a PNG. So we're going to go to, let's see if I could just, let's go, we'll save it. So we'll save the image. I want to put it in my downloads because then I could get rid of it if I need to. I don't need to save this forever. So if I come back here and I can change, first, now that I have this highlighted, I really want to go to, let's go to all. I want to link it to this right here, because this will help them understand what that is, even if, like if they haven't heard of this, this will help them understand it. So I'm going to link it to that Wikipedia article. Now I want to post that right after this. Let's see. Let's save this image. And remember, that was one of the ones that was in the other one that we were already looking at anyway. All right, so let's come here and we will add a picture. So this little plus here adds a block, and this is where we can put an image or any of the other things. I'm not going to walk through everything on here, but as you can see, you see some of them. I'm going to do an image here, and I will upload my image and choose one of these ones I just chose. Maybe I'll start with this one. Now, this moving the image is going to be similar to if you want to make your text centered or something too. But right here where it says change alignment, I want to center align this so that it didn't move very much right there on the screen, but it will show a difference when it's on the page. You could do that with these texts too. You could center align it if you want. I don't do that for mine, but you definitely can. Now, as I move forward, this is the image that was supposed to be those. I'm going to remove this block. I'll move down to number 3 here. Remember, I'm taking off the 3. I'm changing this from a paragraph to a heading. Change it to level 1. Develop an intentional process of reflection, learning, and application moving forward. Now you'll notice none of these other ones had a paragraph, a period, so I'm going to take off the period in this, but I want to double check to make sure. Oh, they did. Look at that. Review, yeah, this one didn't. So review your mind. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to put a period on those. So I'll take the periods off all of them. Leaders in their organizations can learn from the trip along the detour and build that better new normal road by being observant, curious, and creative. And you see this period needs to be moved over. The leader can model this by the use of questions and listening. And then consider these questions. Let's put a colon here, and then I'm going to change these questions into a list. Okay, see how it just made it into a nice little list there for me? Asking what we learned today or in this process. Oh wait, asking what have we learned? What have we learned? So let's make this actually a what have we learned today or in this process? Actually, we don't need to write the word asking. We can just put the questions in a row the way it is. What can be used moving forward? What can we use moving forward? What don't we need to move forward? What are some possibilities? What adaptations did we make that we can build on later? Who have we added value to in this process? And who do we need to reach out to? I don't think these need capitals because they're not going to be headers. So reflection, learning, and application in these times create a solution mindset, an openness to try new ideas, a future focus, and a hope for a better new normal. Excuse me. Now I see there is an image here that our author wanted to include there. So let's see what that image was. Life is an open book full of blank pages. You write the story as you go. Okay, so if I wanted to include that, and I don't always include images everywhere where the author shows, but I try to as much as possible because it shows their side. Life is an open book. This might be too broad, but let's see what we find. Okay, so it didn't show exactly what I wanted, but what I could do is I could take this and I could download that. Again, I want a small image of it because I don't want it taking up a bunch of space on my site. I can come back here and I can upload that image. There we go. Again, I want to center it. I always like centering my images. But what I'd like to do too is I want to make this a life is an open book. You write this, wait, life is an open book full of blank pages. Full of blank pages. You write the story as you go. So I want to make this stand out. So I'm going to change this to bold and italicized, and I'm going to center it so it will be right above the image, nicely centered. Okay, and then I'm finishing up here. All organizations, businesses, governments, churches, and families will have a story about the COVID-19 detour and their emergence to the new normal road. Let me put a space in here. Your intentional choices about your mindset, connection plan, and reflection, learning, and application. Oops, let's put our commas in there. That's not a comma, Barbara. Learning. I need to put, yeah, okay. An application will determine the story you and others will tell about the time in the detour and emergence. You and your organization will either tell the story of how you emerged weaker from the detour to an average new normal or stronger to a better new normal. And then down here, my author always likes to end with questions, which I love about him. You are the driver during the detour and the author of the story. How will you navigate the detour? What story will you write? I want to make that into a heading. Even though it's at the end here, I want it to be nice and big. And in fact, I might make it stand out even more by centering it. Okay, and then again, remember every time that you create something for the first time, you need to hit publish twice. So publish, and then see how it pops up again. Are you ready? Are you sure you're ready to publish? Yes, publish. Now that it's published, I can view my post right here. Okay, click on view post, and it will show me. Here's my post, my picture, my title. Here's some of the words. Here's where Greg's quote popped up. I don't really like how that turned out, and also how this, oh, because this was a number 2 and this was a number 1. Okay, so what I could do up here at the top, I could click on edit post, and I'm going to make a few changes here to make this look more like I want it to. So after Greg's quote here, I want to come down here. I think I'm going to add a horizontal line. So if I come here, I can scroll down, it doesn't pop up automatically. So if I'm up here in the search for a block, I could type in line, it pops up as separator, click it. So that will separate these two from each other. And then this 3 actions will navigate the detour. Maybe I could take this off and move it to here. And learn how to, I could put it right here. Three actions will navigate the detour. You know, actually, I don't think we even need to write that text. 3 actions will navigate it. Let's see how this looks. Let's update it. See, I only had did it once that time. And then I'm going to come back to it, which was right, I don't know where it went, but let's just go on. I'm already on our blog right here. So if I click on this, and then I open it, let's see how that changed. See how now it added a line underneath Craig's quote? And so it separated it, so it looked really nice. In fact, I think that looks good. I was going to say, I think I might add a line above it too, but I think that's just fine. And then these all stand out a little more now too. Okay, yeah, I like this. And then here's the life is an open book full of pages, of blank pages. See how I centered that and centered this? And then down here, I centered that to make it stand out more. In fact, I think I'm going to change this up a little bit too. So edit post. And if I scroll all the way down, what I was wanting to do was put this on its own line, put this on its own line. Let me see if I like that better or not. So if I go here, preview, scroll all the way to the bottom of that. So you are the driver. Okay, now I want to change something else too, because in a lot of my other blog posts, my headers, sometimes I use different colors. So on this particular one, again, I'll go to edit post. On the very bottom, I want to show you how to edit the color of, I'm going to edit these words right here because these ones I really want them to stand out. Oh, I've got to do them one at a time. I made them different blocks. So here under color settings, I want to change the color. This is not the color orange that we use for our company. So I'm going to change it to our actual color, which is DE6722. So that's the color orange that we use for the company. And in fact, I'm going to copy this so that I can come here, do the same thing, color settings, custom color. If you know your custom colors, you can go ahead and put them in here. If you have custom colors, which you definitely should. If you don't, that's something I highly recommend. And then here I'll go to color settings. But if you don't have specific colors yet, you could just make it closer, as close as you can to what your stuff looks like. Let's update again now, and then I'll go to preview, and then we will see how that looks now that I've changed the color of those. So see, it stands out a bit. You are the driver during the detour and the author of the story. How will you navigate the detour? What story will you write? And actually, let me do one more thing to it. If I come here, I want to add a horizontal line here and a horizontal line here. Update. And as I refresh the page here, did I refresh it? Here we go. Now, do you see how much more it made it stand out now that it kind of gave it these lines? So those are just some of the things you can do edit-wise. All right, so that's how we do blogs. Let me give you just a few other things. I know this video is a little bit longer than what I was expecting for it to be, but I hope you're getting a lot of value out of it. So let me go ahead and close out some of these things here. Go here. All right. I'll close out this, and this. Okay. So now if I come back here to my dashboard, and I want, so maybe somebody told you that you need to add a plugin or a widget, or you go to a training and you learn about a new plugin or widget or online or something like that. So how do you add one? Well, you come down here to the plugins area, click on it. It will show you the plugins that you currently have. You'll notice like there is a new version of this. You can update it. Again, before making any changes, especially updates, make sure that you back your site up. So I'm not going to do these back the updates right now because we have a set time when our company does updates, but that's what all these ones mean. So actually this one right here means I have a new testimonial, which I'll look at that in just a moment. But this here shows that I have 4 updates for plugins. Again, I'm not going to go through that right now, but before you update anything, make any changes, make sure you back it up. Okay, so let's say that you need a, oh, actually, I see I don't have my author box on here. That's why I couldn't find the author. Let's add that. Okay, so if I go to search plugins, if I search author, it's not going to show me anything because I don't have any. I have the hide title option, but that's not what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go up here to the add new plugin, and I'm going to add my author box. I'm pretty sure it's just called an author box. I have it on my other site. Is it the simple? No, it's this one right here. This is the one I use, but I'm sure most of these are probably really great. But I use this one. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Molyneux author box, guest authors and co-authors. So if I click on this and go to activate, now I'm going to come on down. Let's see, is that? Yeah, so co-authors, customizer. Okay, so now what it did is you'll notice over here, it added this area here. So I can go to authorship settings, and this is where I could put my authors in. So I have different author boxes. Let's see, post type, menu, plugins, about, support. Let's see, author box. Quick save. So it looks like I need to, because it's the first time on here, I need to set this one up on this particular website. Like I said, I have my author box on. In fact, I'll take you to the Fuse Business Training website to show you what it looks like. Businesstraining.com. I want to show you what this author box looks like because I have multiple authors, which is why I really like using it for this site. But even if it's just you as an author, you should have an author box too, so people can see your bio on every blog post. So for instance, on this one, this was a blog that one of our writers wrote about how the NFL draft gave some insights on making effective virtual meetings. It was really cool. And so if we click on that, and we'll see the title, images, all this good stuff. As we scroll all the way to the bottom, right here's the author box. So this shows you the person who wrote it, gives you their bio, their contact information. And so this is what I just installed as a plugin on my site. But of course, I need to go through and do some setting up for this. So I'm not going to do it live on this particular video because that's a little more advanced than what I was going to show you. But that's an example of how to install a plugin if you need to. And then the last thing I want to show you, but I want to caution you, is if you come here to appearance and you go to themes, this is where you could change the complete look of your site. So like how my site has this look. Remember, you have the menu bar here, you got the social icons up here, the contact info, then you got this. So if I come, if I come back to my site, you'll notice that this right here looks similar to my home page, right? But if I want to change this, I can, but we have to keep in mind that every time that we change this look, we could lose some information. So I caution you about changing your themes. I only keep the theme that I'm using as mine. You may show 2 or 3 or 4 different themes here, and there'll be little boxes. But I only keep the theme that I'm actually using, so that's why mine doesn't show 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 boxes. Again, that's a way to save space on your website so that it doesn't load slowly. Okay, so I think that's all I have for you today. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and bring you back to me. And I will end this by reminding you that if you have any questions or anything else that you'd like to learn about WordPress, or really any kind of software, because I use a lot of softwares, and even if I don't already use it, I could definitely check it out and learn it so I could teach it to you. One of the things that one of my clients always say about me is that I'm a sponge and I learn very quickly, and I teach in a way that is very patient. And so I would love to be able to help. If there's anything else you'd like to see, let me know, and you'd probably see it on here, probably for free. So good luck with your WordPressing. If you need any help, you could reach out to me. I will put my contact information with this video. But just in case if this video ends up somehow not with the contact info, I'll also say it right here. So my personal cell phone number, feel free to call or text me. 219-707-1882. Remember, I am Barbara Carr. I'm with Fuse Empire, which owns a series of businesses that focus on growing businesses and growing people. The business that I am representing to create this video is Fuse Marketing and Media. If you want to reach our whole marketing team, you could contact us at team, like a baseball team, TEAM, at fusemm.com. And of course, you can visit us on the web at fusemarketingandmedia.com. And that is for this site, but you can also go to fuseempire.com to view all of the different business entities that we have under this umbrella.